Aristotle's 3 rules for a good life, timeless wisdom you can use today. Over 2,000 years ago, a man walked the dusty streets of ancient Greece. His name was Aristotle, and he believed that a good life wasn't something you stumbled upon by luck, it was something you built, step by step, choice by choice. In a world obsessed with quick fixes, instant gratification, and chasing the next big thing, his advice might sound simple. But here's the shocking part. These ideas have survived centuries because they work. Today, we're breaking down Aristotle's 3 rules for a good life, and I promise, once you understand them, you'll never see your daily decisions the same way again. Section 1. Setting the stage. What Aristotle believed. Aristotle wasn't just a philosopher. He was a scientist, a teacher, and a student of life itself. He studied politics, ethics, biology, logic, and even theater. But at the heart of it all was one question: what makes a life truly good? For him, the goal wasn't wealth, fame, or even constant pleasure. It was something deeper, something he called eudaimonia, often translated as flourishing or living well. Aristotle believed that to reach this state, we must live according to certain principles. And though he wrote them over 2,000 years ago, they might be more relevant today than ever. Let's start with his first rule. Section 2, Rule number 1. Live with virtue. For Aristotle, the foundation of a good life was virtue. But here's the twist. He didn't mean virtue in a boring, moralistic way. He defined it as the balance between extremes. He called this the golden mean. Imagine 2 ends of a scale. On one side, cowardice, on the other, recklessness. Aristotle's virtue in this case would be courage, the balance between too little and too much. It's the same with generosity. Too little? You're stingy. Too much? You're wasteful. The virtue lies in finding the right measure for the right situation. Why does this matter today? Because so many of us live at the extremes. We overwork or underwork. We overindulge or starve ourselves of joy. We're too passive or too aggressive. Aristotle's first rule says, find the balance that allows you to act with excellence in every part of life. Section 3, Rule number 2. Cultivate reason. Aristotle believed humans were unique because of one thing: reason, our ability to think, reflect, and choose wisely. He said a good life is impossible without developing your mind. Not just filling it with facts, but training it to see clearly, to understand cause and effect, to recognize truth from illusion. In other words, it's not enough to live. We must live thoughtfully. He encouraged constant learning through reading, debate, observation, and questioning. Think about your own life. Do you react without thinking? Do you let emotions control every decision? Or do you pause, reflect, and choose the action that aligns with your long-term well-being? Aristotle would say, if you want a good life, don't just drift. Steer. Today, cultivating reason might mean setting aside time for deep thinking instead of scrolling endlessly. It might mean listening before speaking and choosing growth over comfort. Section 4, Rule number 3. Build strong friendships. Now, this one might surprise you. Aristotle said the good life is impossible without strong friendships. But he didn't mean just having people to hang out with. He described 3 kinds of friendships. 1. Friendships of utility, based on mutual benefit. 2. Friendships of pleasure, based on fun and enjoyment. 3. Friendships of virtue, based on mutual respect, shared values, and the desire to see each other grow. The 3rd kind, he believed, was the highest and rarest form, the kind that truly enriches life. Why? Because a good friend isn't just someone who makes you laugh, it's someone who makes you better. Someone who celebrates your victories, challenges your weaknesses, and stands with you in both sunshine and storm. Aristotle warned that without deep, meaningful relationships, life becomes shallow, no matter how much success you have. Section 5. How these rules work together. Here's the beauty of Aristotle's 3 rules. They're not separate checkboxes. They feed into each other. Living with virtue keeps your actions aligned. Cultivating reason helps you choose that virtue in every situation. Building strong friendships surrounds you with people who encourage you to keep going. Together, they form a kind of compass, one that can guide you through uncertainty, temptation, and even failure. Aristotle lived in a world without smartphones, fast food, or social media, but his wisdom has outlived empires.
Why?
Because the human heart hasn't changed. We still seek meaning. We still crave connection. We still want to know that at the end of our days, we lived well. So, here's my challenge to you. Tomorrow morning, pick one of Aristotle's rules and focus on it. Live with virtue. Or practice reasoning before reacting. Or reach out to a friend who inspires you. Because a good life isn't built in a single moment, but in the choices we make every single day. If this video gave you something to think about, don't just keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who wants to live better. And in the comments, tell me, which of Aristotle's rules will you work on first? Subscribe for more timeless wisdom, and remember, the good life isn't a destination, it's the way you walk the path.